Hello and welcome back to another analysis behind the news, where we provide the perspective that you in turn can utilize to help preserve individual liberty and America's independence. How many of you have grown weary with the nearly 1 year-long investigation of the Trump campaign over alleged collusion with Russia, despite a clear lack of evidence of any such collusion? New information about alleged misconduct and constitutional violations on the part of the federal government under then-President Barack Obama may soon bring down the whole house of cards on what many believe has been a phony investigation designed to derail President Trump's anti-globalist America First agenda. At 5 p.m. Eastern today, the House Intelligence Committee is expected to vote to release the much-talked-about and highly anticipated 4-page Nunes Memo, which reportedly details the unlawful surveillance of 2016 Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump under Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act by the then Obama administration. Section 702 of FISA authorizes the federal government, primarily the National Security Agency or NSA, to collect and analyze electronic communications like emails, text messages, or phone calls stored by U.S. Internet service providers or being transmitted through the Internet's backbone. Unlike traditional FISA surveillance, Section 702 does not require the surveillance target to be a suspected terrorist, spy, or other agent from a foreign power. Instead, its only criteria is that its targets be non-U.S. persons located outside of the United States, for the, quote, significant purpose of obtaining, quote, foreign intelligence information. So who cares that the government has been granted such broad and sweeping powers? They're not targeting American citizens or people in the U.S., right? Unfortunately, that might not be the case, and is in fact the center of the controversy, with some alleging that the U.S. Attorney General and Director of National Intelligence under President Obama authorized unlawful Section 702 surveillance of then-presidential candidate Donald Trump in order to thwart his presidential campaign, and if so, thereby undermining our national presidential elections. If this is true, it will make former President Richard Nixon's Watergate scandal pale in comparison. Shockingly, but unsurprisingly, given their highly partisan and protective stance toward former President Obama and his legacy, congressional Democrats oppose releasing the supposedly damning 4-page memo. So what can we expect to find in the memo that has the Democrats in panic mode and afraid to let the American people see it? Early leaks of the memo named the following top 3 FBI and Department of Justice officials: then FBI Director James Comey, then FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, as having spied on then-candidate Trump. Earlier today, Monday, ahead of the House Intelligence Committee's vote to release the memo, Andrew McCabe officially stepped down as FBI Deputy Director. Scrambling to damage control the situation, congressional Democrats and the mainstream media outlets have been attempting to downplay the significance of the memo. However, last week, a 99-page FISA memo was released on the Office of the Director of National Intelligence's website, which is reportedly one of the main supporting documents behind the 4-page memo. The 99-page FISA document makes glaring admissions of Section 702 authorized surveillance against U.S. persons that were not abroad in 2015 and 2016, and in stark violation of the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. For example, on page 17 of the 99-page FISA memo, it reads, quote, in its October 3, 2011 memorandum opinion, the court found that NSA's minimization procedures proffered in connection with Section 702 certifications then under consideration, statutorily and constitutionally deficient, with respect to their protection of U.S. person information. And on page 19, pay close attention here. The document reads, since 2011, NSA's minimization procedures have prohibited use of U.S. person identifiers to query the results of upstream Internet collection under Section 702. The October 26, 2016 notice informed the court that NSA analysts had been conducting such queries in violation of that prohibition with much greater frequency than had previously been disclosed to the court. Further on down on the same page, the document continues, quote, the government reported that the NSA Inspector General and Office of Compliance for Operations were conducting other reviews covering different time periods with preliminary results suggesting that the problem was widespread, covering different time periods. At the October 2016 hearing, the court ascribed the government's failure to disclose those Inspector General and Office of Compliance Operations reviews at the October 4th, 2016 hearing to an institutional, quote, lack of candor on NSA's part and emphasized that, quote, this is a very serious Fourth Amendment issue, end quote. As a reminder, the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution reads, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. What about the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures? Does the NSA, FBI, and DOJ not understand? And which part exactly of the affirmation shall not be violated is ambiguous enough to ignore? Once the memo is released, that is the 4-page memo, we, the American people, will finally begin to see what took place at the highest echelons of the DOJ and FBI in relation to alleged surveillance of the Trump campaign, and may further confirm the existence of an anti-American deep state. If no wrongdoing occurred, then the evidence should exonerate those who are worried. But if it did, then brace yourselves, for major congressional investigations rivaling those of Watergate may soon be on the way. Will this be the final blow to expose and dismantle the deep state for the anti-American and unconstitutional cabal that it is? If you haven't done so already, we encourage you to visit shopjbs.org and pick up your copies of our special Deep State issue of the New American Magazine. Get it into the hands of your friends, family, and neighbors. This important issue is an excellent tool to educate others about the clandestine nature and mechanisms of the deep state, which, when exposed to the light of truth for all to see, can be defeated. We also ask you to please be sure to share this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, we'll see you then.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. Click here to watch more videos, and click here to visit our site.